Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now, there's been a couple of offers for two of our players. Will those bids be accepted or rejected? Will they still be Arsenal players? We'll find out. Also, the latest on Trossard, Martinelli, and also the defender that will be linked to from France. Let's start with Fabio Vieira, and this is the breaking news from David Ornstein. He says Stuttgart pursuing a deal to sign Fabio Vieira from Arsenal. 25-year-old attacking midfielder spent last season on loan at Porto. Stuttgart approach relates to permanent move. No agreement yet, but talks with Arsenal continue for Portuguese playmaker. So we already told that Arsenal do not want to loan out Fabio Vieira. They want it to be a permanent deal. Obviously, he's been on loan to FC Porto, but FC Porto unable to buy him. At the moment, his contract is expiring 2 years from now. So Arsenal are trying to sell him right now. They're not going to keep him. They don't want another loan because his value will keep on decreasing unless he goes to a different team and has an absolutely incredible season, which, it's a bit tricky right now. It might not happen. The chances of it happening are not high. So this is what David Johnson had to say on the article. He said that Stuttgart, not Dortmund, Stuttgart are working on a deal to sign attacking midfielder Fabio Vieira from Arsenal. The German club have approached their Premier League counterparts about Vieira. The 25-year-old was loaned to Porto last season, but Stuttgart's interest is over a permanent move. Very, very important because we do not want to loan him out. We only want a permanent move for Fabio Vieira, and you also kind of need the money as well to work on other deals. He goes on to say that an agreement has yet to be reached, but talks are ongoing, with Arsenal likely to seek a respectable price for a player they recruited for up to 40 million euros in the summer of 2022. The Portuguese midfielder, who has been capped by his country at under 21 level, is into his final 2 years of his contract at the Emirates Stadium. Vieira came through the ranks at Porto and joined Arsenal in a deal worth an initial 35 million euros plus 5 million in add-ons in June 2022. He made 22 Premier League appearances in his first season in North London, but just 3 from the start, and similarly struggled for game time in the following campaign, starting twice in the top flight. Vieira returned to Porto on a season-long loan in August of 2024 and was a regular as they finished third behind champion Sporting and Benfica. So again, in terms of money and all that, FC Porto unable to buy him. Didn't really have that many standout performances, so they were really interested to spend that much money on him. So it was kind of looking like, would we be stuck with Vieira? Would we have to let him go on a cheap? It's going to be very interesting to see how much we can get for him. Usually, a team like Chelsea with a player like Vieira, they would be able to get that 40 million euros back. Now, for us, we've never really been that kind of team to sell players that well. Let's see how much you're going to get for him. Now, in euros, that is around 33 million pounds that we bought him for, that 34 million pounds. Can we get above 20 million? I mean, now we should be asking for 25 million plus at least. Chelsea would be asking for 35 million plus, but I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. Fortunately, we have Andrea Pata, so this is the first time that he's going to be like attempting to sell players. So let's see how he's going to do. Let's see if there's going to be a difference on how he sells players, and if there's going to be a difference on how much money we get from the previous regimes. Because for years we've never been able to sell players well. So let's see if Andrea Pata will change that for us. If he's able to get like 25 million plus for Fabio Vieira, that would be very good. So Stuttgart are interested in him. Let's see how much money they're going to offer. But obviously, he does not have a future at Arsenal at the moment. He's still quite young, actually. So he still has 25 years of age. So right now he needs to find a place where he's going to feature. And, there's World Cups coming up. If he wants to be part of that Portugal team that has a lot of different players, he has to start featuring more and, start performing more. So, let's hope we can get a little bit of money for him. So that was the breaking news from David Dunstan. Fabio Vieira and Stuttgart are interested in him. Let's see if they make a good bid that Arsenal are going to accept. Now, Plettenberg said that Stuttgart are set to receive at least 28 million euros in transfer fees for the sale of Milot to Al Ahly. They will have money to spend on Fabio Vieira. Let's hope they have a little bit more than that. I mean, if they give us that 28 million euros, I guess that will be 12 million pounds loss. I don't know if he actually ended up paying FC Porto those add-ons. I never really checked, what the add-ons were all about. Sometimes you never really get to know what the add-ons are about. So we might have maybe ended up paying them that 6 or 7 million euros. If we do end up receiving like 28 million euros for Fabio Vieira, I think that will be good business because, it's not going to feature for us at all. In that position right now, we now have Nwaneri, Dauman, Odegaard. We want to have Eze, Madueke is there. He's not going to play in any of those positions. So all the best to him. Let's see how quickly we can sell him. Now, what about Jakub Kiwior? That's the second player that has had a bid made for him. This is the latest from Santi J. Arsenal rejected the formal bid from FC Porto for Jakub Kiwior last week. The proposal was a loan deal with an obligation to buy for 27 million euros. Like, why can't they just buy, Fabio Vieira instead of Kiwior? 27 million euros for Kiwior that's disgusting, man. Like, I don't want to hear stuff like that. Kiwior is an international player who plays every single day for Poland. Kiwior is a player in 3 seasons for us. He's played in 3 different positions and played really well in those positions. One season, Saliba gets injured, Kiwior slots in as a right centre back. Another season, we don't have Zinchenko and Tomiyasu, Kiwior slots in as a left back. The next season, Gabriel gets injured, Kiwior slots in as a centre back. Doesn't really complain about anything. Whenever he comes on, even after not playing for 3 months, he comes on and he plays well and he fits well into the team and he has a good partnership with Saliba, good partnership with Gabriel, however it is. He does chip in with a couple of assists and goals, as we've seen in pre-season so far. This is a player that you don't just sell. And his age as well is a very good age. He's only 25 right now as well, just like Fabio Vieira. And he only gets paid 58,000 pounds per week. And he has 3 years remaining on his contract. You do not sell Kiwior for 23 million pounds. That is a no. That is an absolute no. I do not want to sell him anyway because Calafiori is injured, Gabriel is still injured, Timber is still injured, so we don't really have many options. If the Premier League was starting this weekend, Kiwior starts next to Saliba, so you don't just give away a player like that. I don't even care if we are going to use that money elsewhere. You have to keep a player like Kiwior. Do not just sell him like that, unless they're giving us 50 million plus, and even at that, I'm not really too keen to sell Kiwior. So 23 million pounds, that is a bit disrespectful for a player who's going to feature every single game and play a crucial role for us, whichever competition is going to be. So no, Kiwior is not for sale. That is a very disrespectful bid, and I'm very glad that Arsenal rejected it as swiftly as possible. So that's the latest on Jakub Kiwior. Fabrizio Romano reported yesterday that understand Jakub Kiwior's future remains open with several clubs keen on signing the centre-back. Arteta would prefer to keep Kiwior. Arsenal already rejected a proposal from Portugal in July, so as reported there, it was from FC Porto. Up to the player desired to play more as a possible factor. I'm sure we can convince him that he's going to play more, with Calafiori being injured and him being playing at left-back anyway, and Gabriel also not going to play every single game this season. He's going to play a crucial role, probably all the cup competitions, and he's also going to feature in the Champions League, also going to feature in the Premier League, can come on as a sub, even, when he doesn't start, he can probably come on as a fast sub if you're trying to substitute a defender. He's definitely going to come on for sure. If you're trying to protect a league, Kiwior is a good player to bring on. Good pass of the ball, good technically. Kiwior is not a player just to give away. For me, that is a no-no. So let's see if there's any other bids made for him. Hopefully not because for me, I'm happy to keep him. Now, Martinelli discussed earlier. Ben Jakub says that Arsenal have told suitors, including Al Nassr, that Gabriel Martinelli is not for sale. That is good enough. I mean, we thought that like if Al Nassr gives us like 70 million plus, that's the only way we could have sold Martinelli. So as of now, I don't think there's anyone who's going to give us more money than that. And I never really expected Arsenal to sell Martinelli, unless Rodrigo's like high on our list, and he had said he wants to join Arsenal, and Arsenal needed to sell a player like Martinelli to get him, then maybe. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Martinelli is going to stay, and you're going to need him to improve because so far in preseason it hasn't really been good enough so far. Leandro Trossard, Brentford have made contact with Arsenal attacker Leandro Trossard. We've also been told that Crystal Palace are interested in him. We've been told as well before that Dortmund want him. We've been told that I think Napoli and Lazio want him in the Serie A. So there's definitely a market for him. For him, there's a chance that he might leave. I would not really be keen on letting him go because we're not signing a winger. So if you're not signing a winger and you let go of Trossard, that means you're one man short, and he's one of the most clutch players off the bench. We saw 2 seasons ago and he scored 17 goals. How clutch he was for us in big games against FC Porto and Bayern, in big league games at the end of the season when you're trying to compete with Man City. You're scoring big goals against Wolves and getting us 1-0 victories. You don't just let him go for that. Now, he's also on very low wages. So in terms of wages, not really, hurting us, 90,000 per week. 1 year remaining on his contract, though. So we have to you have to decide whether you're going to let him go right now, you're going to let him go on a free in next season, or sell him in January. Does he want to stay? If a good offer comes in for him, because he's only getting paid 90,000 at Arsenal and he's 30 years of age, if another team comes in and says they're going to give you 90,000 per week for the next 3 years, he's probably going to accept that offer unless Arsenal offer him the same. Or even if a team comes and tells him 70,000 a week, but you're getting a 3 or 4 year contract, that could still is a possibility for him to say yes, because depending on how many years Arsenal is giving him, because in the next 2 years he might not get any other big offer. So he has to weigh in his options and decide where he's going to go after this particular contract, or is he going to stay at Arsenal? Now, Sammy Mockbill says Arsenal have watched Rene defender Jeremy Jacquet extensively, and he is high in the club's list of potential defensive reinforcements. Sources have told BBC Sport not to rule out a soup for the 20-year-old during this transfer window. So we are expecting Eze to be the one. We talked about him in the live show, so make sure to check it out. Eze is the one that we're really looking at, but there's a point where we're told that in case Zinchenko leaves, we might still go for a left centre back, left back, a player who can play both of those positions. It might be Jeremy Jacquet, and we might end up with 7-8 signings this transfer window. That would be absolutely crazy. Now, at the moment, it's still, if, let's see if it's going to happen. We've already brought in Mosquera. We have a lot of injuries at the moment. Saliba hasn't signed a new contract, so Arsenal already planning for the future. We have to wait and see with that one. So Jeremy Jacquet is the next player that we'll be linked to. We talked about Eze earlier on. Let's see whether we're going to make a bid anytime soon, because we really need a player like this. So that's the latest in terms of the transfer updates. Martinelli, Trossard, Jacquet, Vieira, that is the bid that has been made for him. Kiwior, that is the bid that has been made for him. Would you have accepted those bids for those two players? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.